Welcome to the Great Inventors of Online Video Q&A. I'm Caitlin Hofmeister from SciShow, and I am honored to be the voice for your questions. A lot of you have already submitted questions, and so we'll start with some of those. But if you have questions now, be sure to submit them, and I will get to ask our amazing panelists. I am a huge fan of all of these guys, so I'll introduce them in just a second, but I want to thank the VidCon Now team for organizing this and 5Gum for sponsoring this Q&A. And so let's get to these three awesome inventors that you're here to hear from. So first up, we have Simone Giertz. Simone is a Swedish inventor, YouTuber, and robotics enthusiast, and she is world-renowned for her useless machines. Please welcome Simone.
Hi! Is this thing on? I guess we'll never know.
Hi, Simone. So something that we do on the SciShow team, now that we all work remotely, is embrace the awkward and just like sit in silence for a little bit sometimes. So that's kind of what I'm going to do to make sure that everybody gets to hear everyone. So thanks for hanging with me. So thanks, Simone, for being here. Next up, I want to introduce Mark Rober. Mark is a former NASA engineer who helped build one of my all-time favorite robots, the Curiosity rover, and has since taken to YouTube to test out some of science's most exciting questions, like most recently, do sharks prefer fish or human blood? So welcome, Mark.
Hello. This thing on? Yeah? Let's do this. I'm excited. It's also my favorite robot as well, Caitlin, so that's a good choice. I'm embracing the awkward silence now. Should I say more?
Oh, I'm live. I'm so sorry. I got engaged with what Mark was saying, so I need to watch mine better. You guys are doing great. Next up, we have William Osman, and I just moved my intro thing. William makes science videos and does experiments on YouTube and has informed us that he's, in fact, not a crab. Thanks for being here,
guys.
William.
Have you ever seen a cat's butt? Check it out.
It's good. It's a good butt. I never got the "Are you not a crab" thing.
How
did that start?
I needed an Instagram handle, and so oh my god, I'm so bright. What happened?
You look great.
I'm like way overexposed. I needed an Instagram handle, and I was doing a bunch of crab fishing off the local pier, and I was doing a bunch of science, and so I was like crabs and science.
That's a great origin story.
I am so underwhelmed. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be some like long-term inside joke.
No, it's significantly not that good.
Way to stick with it, though. You know what? Way to stick with it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing also, if like people pick up on the joke, you kind of have to keep it going. Like I wish when I moved to the States that I had just appropriated that my last name was pronounced Gertz
so you don't
instead
have to
of
explain
Giertz,
it every
which
time.
is like, but now it's kind of become a thing where people who know how to pronounce it are like, oh my God, they said it wrong. And I'm like, I really don't care that much, but sure.
Right. And it's such a strange pronunciation of like I've never heard anything even similar.
It makes no sense. Even in it's not Swedish. I think it's like Dutch or something, but I think it makes sense in no language. My ancestors were just trolls.
and Simone, we've been friends probably for like, I don't know, 3 years, and even still, every time I have to say your last name, I get like uncertain. It's like the worst. I'm like,
maybe I'll just have to go full Beyonce and be like, I'm just Simone.
You should get a tattoo.
Sorry, Nina
like
Simone. Sorry, Simone Biles. Sorry, Simone de Beauvoir.
Get the phonetic spelling on your forehead.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Okay. So speaking of origin stories like Instagram handles and names, one of our audience members has asked, when and how did you all start engineering and like getting into what you do? And feel free to answer in any order. Thank you.
Great segue, Caitlin. That was impressive.
August 13th, 1992 at 4 p.m.
Wait, was it just your birthday?
No.
Born.
I think I would have been like 2 years old. No, I don't know. I've just always been making stuff. I mean, it's sort of, there's some sort of joy that comes from, or satisfaction that comes from, like creating a thing, whether it's a piece of art or something that works. You know, like a robot. I think it's a pretty classic example of like, look, it's a thing that does something, and you did it, and that's, you know, drives a sense of satisfaction in me, at least.
Simone.
Yeah, so I'm not like an engineer by school, or I didn't study engineering. I studied physics for a year, but then I dropped out because I wasn't no. Don't encourage people to drop out. No, but it just felt like it didn't, I love math, but I don't love math like 10 hours a day. But then I just really wanted to start building things, and it's hard to start because it's kind of like a gear sport. Like you need a lot of stuff often to get started. But then I got an old houseboat, and I was like, here, I can build anything. So I just started working on that, and that was kind of how I started learning. And then I got interested in electronics and programming, and now I'm doing more like woodworking and metalworking and fabrication. But yeah, it's just like you just have an idea that you're really excited about, and then you try every possible way to figure out how to make it happen.
Awesome. How about you, Mark?
Mark?
We might have lost
Mark! I'll answer for him. Well, when I was, okay, you got it.
Don't you dare, Willie.
I don't know how to do things.
I was kind of always interested in math and science, and then in high school, physics is when things really kind of clicked for me, that it's like, whoa, this is so cool that the world can be explained with math. And so when I started, mechanical engineering just felt right. And for me as an engineer, what's cool is like, if you want something to exist in the world, if you have an idea, like you can make it exist. You can make it a thing. There's very few professions that's true for. And that's just like a superpower. That's really cool.
Other than like giving birth.
Yes.
That would be hard for you.
Mark, a robot that gives birth.
No, dude, I could do that as an engineer.
Yes.
It's all about math and science.
So another question from
I have
our
a
audience.
child.
Oh yeah.
I help.
I did my job.
Okay, well, actually, I'm gonna go with that segue now. So you guys are known for creating your own things, but do you collaborate with people, or who do you turn to when you are particularly stuck on a project that you want to work through? Like, do you work with other people ever?
Yeah, sometimes when I
collaborate. I collaborate a lot. In fact, I made the world's largest lemon battery, and I made William do most of the work.
I want you to know, Mark, that I did not sleep a whole lot during that 2 weeks. Did I tell you?
Really No, go ahead. What did you say?
Oh, that it was like 2 a.m, and I was in LA, like an hour from home, water jetting, all that stuff. And then I had to like drive home and then wake up at 6 a.m. to go to a doctor's appointment to get my head scanned and an MRI. I slept like 4 hours that night. And then the next couple of nights was probably another 4 hours. You did this to me, Mark.
I assume the MRI went okay.
Yeah, that's actually, it was for my sinuses. I printed my skull. I don't know where it is. I just finally used it for something useful other than getting my sinuses fixed.
Yeah.
Sinuses. Freaking, we got a brain tumor survivor, and you're talking about sinuses.
Wait, do you have a scan of your skull, Simone?
Yeah, I've made not of my skull, but I mean, I used my MRI slides in a project. Yeah. I did like a paper shredder that looked like my brain.
Right. Okay.
So I have used it. I have so many, because I've had like 10 MRIs or something like that since it all started. So I have so many CDs. I have like a whole collection.
You want me to print your skull? I can print your skull for you.
I'm not interested, I love you. You're super sweet, but I don't want you. I don't trust you with my MRI scans.
I can print a life-size version of your skull.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can put it as a hood ornament in my car. Imagine the front of your car, your own skull.
What was the question? Oh yeah, collaborating. So for me, it's always really fun to collaborate. Like if I can find an excuse to collaborate, so I can make someone else do the work, all the better. No, it's a good way to meet. Like I've met Simone and William and a lot of other people I've met through kind of collaborations. I always think it's more fun than just trying to hit something solo.
Yeah. I would say that like if you're, you want to go? You go.
No, I was just going to start a sentence and hope that it would figure itself out at the end.
I'm just playing with my cat right now. I think when I make videos by myself, it's I don't want to say it's my least favorite, but it can kind of be the least rewarding, because you're just like communicating directly to a camera, and so it's like I like having a camera person because it really helps me communicate to somebody instead of just talking. I mean, you know, when you're filming something, or when Casey Neistat's, you know, like lit vlog flam and he's got his camera and he's like talking to it, and you kind of get like this sort of thing. And you see this man. Trying to get it in the shot. You see this man who's like doing this on the side of the road talking to his camera, and like, you know, it's weird in real life trying to just communicate directly with a camera. And so having somebody who can, you know, film you, it helps to, you know, make it like you're communicating with somebody, and then the audience feels like you're communicating with them. Or when you have a collaborator, it's like you are actually communicating with a real person, and so it kind of helps me make it more of like a social experience as opposed to just work. I don't know.
It's also easier for you because you're in LA.
Yeah.
In San Francisco or like in the Bay Area. Just Mark.
It's just Mark.
Where are you going? The only one I got.
So, and you have never collaborated with Mark in a video, which means you really don't want to collaborate with Mark.
No, it's pretty crazy. We did a live stream like years and years ago, but we've never done like a proper collab.
I know, we should, Simone.
Yeah.
You guys are two of the most like busy people I know. It's so difficult to get, you know, a significant amount of time from either of you.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm saying why you probably never collaborated.
I'm busy. The thing is, I don't feel like I get that much stuff done, but I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just asked you for like an 8-week commitment the other day and you told me no.
Sorry.
Okay.
I said I do a 1-day commitment.
I know. Just
maybe even 2 days.
So if you guys had an infinite budget or infinite time, what video would you make? Have you thought about that? Are there any videos that are like on the horizon for you that you're like
filling my bank account up with money?
I would go to space.
Yeah, Simone, what can you tell us? What can you elaborate? I know that's like been a really cool goal of yours. Like, are you? Where does that stand? Or is there like? Is there
movement on that goal? Is that what you asked, Mark? Like, are you?
Yeah. Like, I'm excited to hear.
How do we help you go to space?
Exactly. I know you're going to go to space one day. I'm just wondering.
Chelsea, grab my wallet. We're helping Simone go to space.
Let's start a GoFundMe and raise like $280 for the ticket price. Yeah.
Would you be happy or offended if a GoFundMe to send Simone to space just like skyrocketed to like the amount of money immediately?
Why would I be offended?
Because people are trying to get rid of you.
Oh. I mean, maybe we do the subhead titles or just like in parentheses, send Simone to space and then bring her
she's
back.
coming back. Yeah, okay.
And return, yeah. I feel like that would be in the fine print. Yeah.
What about you, Mark?
What? About space or what?
Your infinite budget project.
I don't know. William,
Mark already has infinite budget projects.
I was like, what's next?
Yeah. I do
more
feel like
money, more problems, right, Mark?
More squirrels.
Well, like I feel the more cash you spend, or the bigger the budget, it sort of just means you have more things going on, or more stuff, like expensive things to break, or more people involved. And so, the infinite budget is kind of tricky because it opens a whole new door of issues, and then it's like this problem that just like avalanches, and it never ends. Right? Like the bigger the company, the more of a nightmare it becomes to run. And I think the same goes with trying to do too big of a project.
It would be terrible to have a lot of people. Ooh. Or like a lot of money. No. Well, it's really better that we don't.
I think I understand what you're saying, William, is that because you guys all get to do all the creative work, it seems like, in your jobs. And so you could potentially get like cut off from doing more of the creative stuff that you like to do.
Right. And you're just dealing more with like organization.
I think it's very much like one of the things I've been resisting, like getting a bigger production. One, because it puts more pressure on me, and I've like always refrained from having an uploading schedule or everything. I just want to make sure that if I want to take a week off at any point, I can. But also because like the thing that would be most easy to outsource would be like the build process, or building things, or figuring out problems. And that's the part I love the most. Like all the other stuff you would like need my face for, and then somebody else couldn't do, but I just like really hold on to that. And like maybe I'm a lot slower at building stuff than other people would be. Like it takes me a month to crank out a project, but I just kind of want to let it be that way, because otherwise what am I doing? Like that's the part I love and that I want to do.
Right.
Yeah, and that's my philosophy too. Like I intentionally keep my team as small as possible. Right. And the budgets that I might have, if it's a sponsored video, like I never get close to like, I just want to blow that whole budget. Like I'll spend as little as I need to do to like make the video that I want to make. But it's never like, I've got all this money, so I'm just going to hire a bunch of people. You don't need it. It doesn't make sense. I feel like it actually goes contrary to what you're trying to accomplish.
It definitely, I've seen so many YouTube channels that start off as kind of super homegrown with, people just having fun making videos, and then kind of transition into this big production, because it's like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make it bigger. And it's like, like it's not, it's kind of, it can be the death of a lot of channels if you scale wrong. And I think Mark has done it, probably the best of a lot of the channels I've seen, where you can get help from people, but without like extracting what makes the videos kind of real and organic.
I think it's also because it's so awkward to like film in front of people. Like
I hate it.
Only have one full-time employee. We've been working together for like 2 or 3 years, but sometimes I'm like, hey, can I just like do this by myself? Because it's so awkward. I mean, I'm reading the same line 30 times over, and you're just constantly thinking about how silly it is when somebody else is there. Like you just Yeah.
That's why TV is brutal. You've done a bunch of TV stuff, Simone, when there's like 30 people standing there. It's like the worst.
But then I feel like it's somehow I get into a different zone, because then it's like I'm in host mode, and then I'll read stuff as a host. Like I used to be a host of a kids show when I was 14, and you kind of like just get into that like, hey, we're going to do this. But it's a very different demeanor from like, hey, I'm just hanging out in my living room and we're going to figure this weird problem out.
Can said show be found anywhere online?
I actually don't think so. I try to get tapes of it. Yeah. Oh my God. I was such a sassy kid.
What you need to see is Simone on that.
And we're going to do this.
Hi, I'm Dora. You need to see Simone on that Chinese soap opera.
There's a whole video for that.
Yeah.
You did that. You did.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was awful. Yeah.
It's amazing.
But that's like, I mean, my nightmare would be releasing like raw footage. Or actually like just one piece to camera, like releasing it in full length and just people seeing the amount of takes.
Right. I think a lot of people would be horrified.
Dude, I
know
that.
Yeah.
That is 100% my worst nightmare. Like I'm doing a thing with the channel, and they want to like do a bunch of B-roll of like videos I've released, and they want to like package it up on a TV thing.
Oh, and they're asking you to just send them.
Yeah, I'm like, never would I release the raw footage for my build. I was like, I'll have an editor go through that I trust that can keep those locked away, and he can give you very specific things. But no way would I release those into the wild.
Oof.
How many takes do you do, Mark?
At least 5. Anything I say to camera looking at it, I'll say it at least 5 times.
Yeah, me too.
I don't write anything, and so my takes are just like figuring out what I'm going to say.
You're like editing as you're talking.
Yeah. Basically, like I'm sort of like doing it in my head of like, okay, I didn't say that. I need to like get to this point, or I dragged that on too long.
I can tell that when I watch your stuff. It definitely shows.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
We're going to assume it's a compliment. Otherwise, I know where Mark lives.
Well, I have a compliment for all 3 of you, because one thing that I love about all your channels is that it seems like it feels really organic, and like you're showing us your thought process and like how you're thinking through things, and even when you fail, and we're seeing questions get answered live with you. So how do you balance that, like that polish that you want it to have?
Organic is a nice synonym for unprofessional.
No, it does not seem that way at all. It seems like real, because I'm like, it's this like really polished. I'm like, oh, this is just like, Simone is brilliant. She's just thinking through this scissor lamp right now live. You know, you're just thinking through it right there, and like that we're really in the room with you. But knowing that you take so many takes is surprising to me, because you guys all do seem really like just on it.
I mean, I do like the step I'm on is genuine, but then I also like, the thing is, I script most stuff, or at least like every intro and outro I script. And then sometimes script like interim pieces, but it's just because otherwise I'm just rambling and I don't really get to the point, and it just transfers the work to post. Or to the editing process. Mm-hmm. But also I like started doing different tiers of how much I film. Like if I'm solving a really difficult project or problem, then I need no cameras and I just need to sit with a frown and like stare at it, and definitely not, I just need to like turn off my face and not think about how to narrate it as well. And if I'm kind of doing an easier problem, then I'll try to actually solve it live and like work through it and react to it and stuff like that. But sometimes I'm just like, no, I just need to sit down and like hyper focus on this.
Yeah.
There's 2 jobs.
I would go ahead.
Like, it was like you have your sort of making a video job, which I guess in typical land you'd call like a producer. And then you have your doing a thing, like the science or the experiment or the building of what you're doing. And if you're working on something that really distracts like one side of that job, like if you're working on the trying to make the thing, you're going to forget how to stay on top of the filming part and like what you're supposed to say and like how to kind of tell what you're doing. Cause like there's a lot of stuff. Like if I you know, the video I did with Mark, I think was one of the videos that was the most nightmare to edit because of how much footage I had. It was like 4 hours of video. And like you're telling a story that has 4 hours of video because you didn't do a good job deciding what you needed to film when you were doing it because you were so focused on trying to actually do it. And so that's kind of the balance. Is it's difficult to try to figure out how you want to present this project. Do you want to show all the nitty gritty? Do you want to show the thing where you messed up the same thing 4 times and you're going to show you that same mistake 4 times over and over again? Or do you just want to turn the camera off and just get this portion of the thing done and then kind of figure out how to tell the next part of the story?
Because you're figuring out how to tell a story without knowing how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Or like how it's going to go, or if you're going to run into a more interesting problem down the line, and this problem that you solved is just going to be like a throwaway. Yeah.
That's what I like. I think it's hilarious that 4 hours of footage was like, oh my gosh. Forget the shark video and the squirrel video both had like 150 hours of footage. I had to condense down to like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so
you narrate though. You have your like the narration strategy, which is to like, here's all of my material that I have. I'm going to tell my story over it. I and Simone, for the most part, try to use the dialogue that you film to create the story.
I know. And I'm telling you, like, the narration thing is so much easier because, like Simone said, I don't know what the story is. I didn't know, like, Fat Gus was going to become the superstar, right? But then, like, I just filmed everything. And once I had the footage, it's like, oh, these are the most juicy nuggets. Like, these are the chunks that are going to be the most interesting to people. So it's like at the very end is when I do the intro. And when I do all the, you know, even when I'm talking to camera, if I'm ever talking to camera, there is a sheet by my feet that has like the next 2 sentences. Like I never just talk to camera.
That's why you look so smart in your videos.
That's the trick, dude.
That's why everyone thinks I'm dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not actually dumb.
Hey.
I'm not that dumb. A little bit dumb.
I'll give you that.
You're all great. You're all great. No, but I mean, that's the thing where, because I realize that what people enjoy seeing most is the problems and like working through it. And if I would just revert to like only doing B-roll of a project and just showing the process, like,
then you have to try to remember the problems and describe them later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a balance of like, you know, what people want to see and
And I think that works for like,
cool.
I genuinely think
it sounds like
it would be weird.
Oh, go ahead.
Don't interrupt me, Caitlin. I genuinely, I think it'd be weird. I think it would be weird if you guys, like, I like the style of your videos and I think it makes sense. Like, I think if we swapped, it would feel like it wouldn't fit the styles. And that's what's so amazing about YouTube is like the authenticity aspect. It's like, you can find what works and you can like lean into that and stuff.
Right. I like your headphones, Simone.
Absolutely.
What are you wearing?
Okay. Those headphones. They're broken.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you guys are starting on a video, or on a project, I should say, it sounds like you don't know exactly how the video is going to go yet, but what is inspiring you about the project? Like, how do you pick your thing that you're going to make?
Something people would click on.
And what is that? Like, what does that mean? Like what?
Garbage. No, it's like, you know, I mean, you could have a bunch of ideas in a hat and you pick all of them out and read them one by one and you'll be like, this is bad idea, bad idea, bad idea, good idea. Why is it a good idea? Because it like tickles people's brains somehow and makes them want to click on it. You know, it's not like I can take any idea and turn it into a good video. I can make a good idea about a bad idea, or a good video about a bad idea by making fun of the bad idea, right? So like, this idea is really bad. Like that's a possibility. But if you did the idea itself thinking it was a good idea, people aren't going to care. It's like, this is stupid. But what's funny is making fun of something stupid or just picking stuff people want to click on. So like, I don't know. I feel like this is something Mark does really well. And I'm trying to think of like an example of a video where you could just change one thing about it and people would all of a sudden want to click on it. I mean, back in the day, we did a video about Vin Diesel cut by a laser cutter. So we took slices of sandwich, like deli meat, cut them out layer by layer by layer and stacked them on top of each other. Okay, so like cutting out Vin Diesel on a CNC machine out of wood and stacking it, like that's boring. Nobody cares about a wood Vin Diesel sculpture. They'd be judging it more for like the artistic ability of the person creating it, and it's not that good of a Vin Diesel model. It's kind of crap. So what you do instead is you say, I'm going to make Vin Diesel out of sandwich meat. And all of a sudden you have something where people are like, what? I want to see this. I want to click on this. If that makes sense. You know, it's like a twist, like some sort of thing that people haven't seen before that maybe is a thing that they never thought they wanted to see, or they did want to see, you know?
Yeah. I think that was the first video I saw.
That totally makes sense.
I think it's a balance. I mean, this is kind of the question of like, what's more important, the idea, the execution? And it's like, I don't know. I could speak to my personal experience like William did. You know, there was other people who've done squirrel obstacle courses before I did them. So I think in that case, it was kind of the execution that helped that be something that resonated with people. But if you don't have a good idea and, you know, like, oh, I'm going to make a fishing pole out of this saw. Or something. Right. It's like, I mean, you could do that, but like,
that's a
not
really
relevant.
Good example of a really bad idea, Mark.
It's not relevant, and it's not like, it doesn't like solve a problem. It doesn't like do something to someone internally because they're like, oh, I have that issue, or oh, I can relate to that, you know. Where something like, you know, the glitter bomb bait package, I've had a package stolen before, so when I even see that title, just viscerally, I feel like, oh, I connect with this and I want to like figure it out, you know.
Right.
What about you,
Simone? I've been stepping away from trying, because I used to do like more just stuff for YouTube. So it's like titles and projects that I thought would do well. But I mean, also it's always like Russian roulette a little bit. And lately I've just been, I don't know, just more trying to make stuff that I actually really want to make and that I care for. And then trying to, I mean, I post videos and I'm like, I know this video is not going to perform as well. Like it would perform better if I made a useless robot or something like that. But I'm interested in it myself. So it's like, it's hard because I definitely, obviously, of course, like you want to do stuff that performs well and that grows your channel and all those things because it gives you more opportunities. But I've like really tried to do stuff more for myself than for videos. And
I like it. I think it's great. I think it's showing. I've really enjoyed your recent videos, kind of
because my views have gone down.
I actually didn't see it.
Hey, I thought you didn't look at your analytics.
No, oh gosh, it makes me so anxious. I try not to look at it, but no, I mean, they actually haven't gone down that much because I have the most tolerant audience ever. And they're very like with me for the different changes, or I think they're just excited about that I'm excited about something.
You're going to have like a smaller core audience that will watch anything you want. And so it's like, or anything that you want to do. And so it's like, you'll always have people interested in what you want to do. It's just, you're not going to attract as many of like the outside clicks and the views. And like, at the end of the day, like, I don't really like what matters. Like, is it,
yeah, I think it's just like money. Also since because I've had so many health problems these last years and it really reduce my capacity and it forced me to think of like, what do I really want to spend my time on? And the only thing I wanted to spend time on was the projects that I was like personally really excited about. And then I've just tried to stick with that. And of course it's still a compromise. Like I see a still lot of think about what the title and the thumbnail is going to be, but
YouTube is kind of a mental health trap. Like a lot of people, I think, kind of suffer from the idea of like needing to go like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
I just imagine if my mom actually said, she was like, "Oh, you should put a cap on how many subscribers you can have. You should be like 3 million subscribers, then no more people. That's it." But I also imagine if you had that type of metrics for any other relationship in your life.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you're like, the conversion rate with your girlfriend has gone down in the last 3 weeks or 28 days, or the conversations runtime run shorter.
Or whatever. Like
you just gave me a really good idea. Holy crap. A video that can only get so many views and then it gets deleted. That's genius.
That's an idea from my mom. You can have
it. That's I like that.
That's Mr. Beast right there, man. Like,
I wanted to do a video that I really wanted to do and that that it would be hard to pull off is I want to do a video that's all ad spots.
Yeah, so much money.
It's just like 30 minutes of ad spots. And you just like rip through them, but none of the sponsors want to agree to it.
I can't imagine why not.
My friend showed me one of my, we were looking through one of the videos the other day. We were working on something and he has this extension for his browser that like shows if everyone else has the extension, it puts comments at the timestamps where they commented. And it kind of looks like ad breaks. And I know that YouTube just did the ad break thing where they automatically applied all the ad, like mid-roll ads to your videos if you didn't opt out of it. And I just didn't do anything. And I saw all the comments and I thought it was ads. And I thought my video was riddled with like 40 ads.
Oh.
The one analytic that I hate that makes me like the freaking view retention one is the one like I can't bring myself to look at.
Oh, when people drop out of your video?
Yeah, like seeing how like low it is as it gets.
Every time Mark's face shows up, it dips down. Nobody wants to look at Mark. Show us more squirrels, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we have just a couple more minutes, guys. But you kind of are already talking about this, but what are you working on now, or what's your next big project that you're excited about? Or anything else you want to end on?
Yeah. Sure.
I think we're all pretty secret about our projects, no? Like, I don't talk about them until I publish them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many people are watching this right now?
Like
I have
17. No one's gonna see this.
We'll tell you everything. Simone, give us your secrets.
I'm working on a project that involves a lot of teeth.
Yes, pulling teeth out of people's heads and making a necklace out of them.
My videos tend to take a long time, and so currently I'm working on like 8 different ones. I will say of course I got to do the squirrel sequel. I'm doing another glitter bomb.
I'm doing a TV show with Jimmy Kimmel.
I wasn't mentioning that. This is YouTube.
I also wanted to ask about like other projects that you're working on, non-video projects. So thinking about like Team Trees and other projects that you guys want to maybe shout out.
Team Bees. I want to do Team Bees. It's the same thing, but we release millions of bees within cities across America.
I thought you said Team D's, and I was like,
Team
what is this going to be?
It's Team D's Bees. Why? You have low expectations of me, Simone. I'm trying to 3D print my skull in full scale. I have this super high resolution resin printer, big print envelope that I'm going to take my CAT scan and print a full size version of my skull.
What are you going to do with it?
I haven't thought that far. I have about half a plan.
It would be pretty cool to, like, if you could open it, it had a lid and you could actually pick your own brain.
Oh, I do.
It could be like your idea jar.
Yeah. So I have kind of similar. It's a little bit. I want to take the scan and turn it into a coffee mug, and then you can like maybe sell it, or maybe just like you can make like a cake in it, like bake like a pink mug cake, and so like it looks like you're eating brains.
Oh, that's fun.
I not necessarily for a video, but just like it'd be a funny like.
Merch.
I don't know. Yeah, or just something to do for fun, like just playing with the printers. We're gonna do a Kickstarter. I'm copying. I probably shouldn't. I mean, I know it's a lot. After hearing all the things you guys went through, Simone, for your Kickstarter, it's probably gonna be a mistake. But
no, I mean, we just started shipping this week. I saw the first tweet of somebody who got their calendar, so we're actually like on the other side of it.
It's so cool, Simone. It's so cool. I saw that. I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Just visually, everything about that.
It said 1 year. And it took 2 years. Nothing.
We're 6 months late.
Oh, that's
we're 6 months late. Yeah.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's a Kickstarter record.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
It's so cool, Simone. Congratulations. I meant to text you and say that's rad. It's so cool.
Oh, thank you. It's such a relief, honestly. Like I've just been terrified of like disappointing people.
I can't. I mean,
I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. But so we're gonna do something, and it's a lot simpler than yours. No large.
Yeah, let me know if you need any advice or.
Yeah, I feel like the best advice you could give me is don't do it.
don't do it.
Are you gonna do another one in the future? You think?
I don't know if I do a Kickstarter. Like, I just don't like people putting their money on the line.
Right.
I don't know. It's just like it was really.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard though, because
emotionally.
It's like right. It's nice to know that people want to like spend money on something. Like if you want to make a thing, is it like it's a lot? Like people don't realize how much effort it is to like make a product. If you want to make a couple thousand of something, like it's a horrendous amount of work.
It's crazy. I got like a tweet of somebody being like, oh my God, you could just have had somebody make 3 calendars a day and you would have hit the deadline earlier. And you're like, thanks for that advice. That's unfortunately not really how it works out. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely want to do more products. Like that's like something I'm actively working towards, and like is one of my big goals for the next couple of years. But it's also scary when you're doing it under your own brand, or like your own, like being the front figure or something. Because if you would start a product brand and things go to hell, like you can just like throw that in the sink, but you can't really just be like, throw yourself in the sink and be like, no, this didn't work out, I'm just going to sink this ship. So, but yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's challenging, but I hope it's worth it. I'm just still terrified that people are going to get their calendars and they're going to have a bunch of issues with them, or there's going to be unforeseen problems of some sort. Like in 2 years, I'll be like, okay, they seem to be stable.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can do. Like, look at all the big companies that mess stuff up too. And you guys are like a small team of people just doing your best.
Yeah. And people have been very sweet and understanding about it, which has been great. Yeah.
Hey, do you remember like 10 years ago when the Toyotas would get the floor mat stuck on the gas pedal? You're doing great.
No. Oh my God. That was just such a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I heard that was a myth.
It was on like revisionist history.
Okay.
We'll go further back. Did you hear about the Ford Pinto? How it had the gas tank at the back of the car, and when you got rear-ended, it would jam the doors shut, and so the gas tank would be on fire, and then you couldn't get out of the car.
Fake news.
No, not the Pinto.
I'm just kidding. Caitlin, thanks for saying that. I was like, should I not?
I'm going to do a video where I put Mark Rober in a Ford Pinto and fill the gas tank up with gas and rear end it and see if he can escape as the car's on fire.
That's
the Ford Pinto challenge. Yeah.
I love it.
You guys, thank you so much for being here. I think we're about to wrap up, but do you have any final thoughts that you want to share?
Go unsubscribe from all of us. And we're sorry.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Ostensibly, if you're in this, you like to make and do cool stuff, and keep doing that, because I think there's a lot of joy that can come from that.
Yeah. Also, there's joy. There's also other things, but there's joy in there.
There's a lot of heartache.
There's a lot of joy in the pain.
Yeah, a lot of pain and suffering to get to the joy.
Yeah.
I don't want to oversell it.
That's true. I know. I did see a comment where it's like, I've seen Mark Rober's videos and like I became a mechanical engineer, but I got to be honest, like it's a lot more boring than he makes it seem like in his videos. And I'm like, oh no, what am I doing?
I want my money back.
It's engineering propaganda.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
So it's like you'll find joy, but like not that much joy. So just temper your expectations.
It's never as fun as it looks. Right, we're being so inspiring right now. It's never that fun, and it's there's a little bit of joy, but also a lot of pain.
Quit while you're ahead. Just play video games all day. That's significantly more fun.
Awesome. Well, I love that advice. So thank you guys. From all of you. I think it's good to remember that things take a lot of hard work and be realistic. And then there will be more joy, hopefully, because of that. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you guys all for being here. I'm going to check in with our director. This is an odd setup where we can't see who's organizing any of this. Mm-hmm. But I think we're good. And then, cool. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to our amazing panelists, William, Simone, and Mark. And thanks to the VidCon team. And if you want to check out the VidCon Discord server and keep the conversation going there, I encourage you to do that. And check out vidcon.com to check the schedule and see what other panels are coming up later today and ongoing. So thank you all so much and have a great day.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.